Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Let's continue our Python programming series. And before starting, I have a question for you. What if you want to execute a block of code multiple times? For example, if I ask you to print your name 100 times, then writing 100 print statements is definitely not a smart programming. That's where iterative statements, commonly known as loops, come into play. Today we are going to master while loops, for loops, nested loops, and how to use random numbers inside loops. We will also solve two important practical programs, the Fibonacci series and a dice simulator. So grab your laptop, let's begin. So first let's understand the while statement. A while loop repeatedly executes a target statement as long as a given condition remains true. Let's look at the syntax. Its syntax is while here condition and here is code, and now we will do increment or decrement here. So see, this is our Python syntax where here we will write our condition and here the code block to execute and here increment or decrement as per our need. So let's write a quick example. Suppose we want to print numbers from 1 to 5. So we will do it like we will initialize first I is equals to 5 and while. Now suppose my condition is I is less than equals to 5 and I have to print I. Then I is equals to I plus 1. So I will run this. So oh sorry, I will initialize I is equals to 1 and now yeah, you can see the numbers are printed. If you don't update the variable I, the condition is always stay true, and you will end up in an infinite loop, which can crash your program. And remember, a while loop is used when you don't know the exact number of iterations in advance, but you know the termination condition. Now, let's move to the most widely used loop in the Python, the for loop statement. Unlike while, a for loop is typically used when you know exactly how many times you want to iterate. It iterates over a sequence, like a list, a string, or a range of numbers. Let's see how it works with the range function. So, I will making a new file. Range function dot yeah. So for I in range 1 print I. So notice that range 1 6 starts at 1 and stops before 6. So it's print 1 to 5. I will show you. Yeah, you can see. Python handles the initialization and increment automatically here. It's a clean, elegant, and less prone to infinite loop errors. So what happens? When you put a loop inside another loop, that is called a nested loop. You have an outer loop and an inner loop. Every single time the outer loop runs once, the inner loop executes completely. Let's took a simple pattern. For example, like nested. For example, for I in range 1 to 4, So this is our outer loop. Oh, sorry, RAN. Yes, yes. And for J in range, for example, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this and now print statement like H string and I is equals to I, comma J is equals to J. Yeah, now let's run it. Yeah, as you can see in the terminal, for I is equals to 1, J goes through 1 and 2. Then I becomes 2 and J resets and go through 1 and 2 again. This concept is incredibly useful when you're dealing with matrices, tables, or complex patterns. So let's move towards our first practical problem, which is Fibonacci series. Let's start with our problem. For those who don't know, a Fibonacci series starts with 0 and 1, and each subsequent number is the sum of the previous two. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Let's write the code. So, making new file, Fibonacci. Like, firstly, we are taking the input from the user in, input, enter number, and then A is equals to 0 and B is equals to 1. And writing the print statement that Fibonacci series. Okay, so for I in range n, print A and is equals to this, and next term is equals to A plus B. A is equals to B and B is equals to our next term. So I'm running this. B is equals to, oh, is really next is equals to B is equals to next term. Yeah, no, it is correct. Equals to input number. I'm putting number 5. So yeah, as you can look closely at how we update our variables A and B in each iteration to shift forward. This is a classic example of using a for loop to generate a mathematical sequence. So let's move towards our next problem. We are making a dice simulator using random numbers. So uh, write a random number generator that generates random numbers between 1 and 6, like we roll the dice. Simulating a dice roll to make it interesting, we will use a loop so the user can roll the dice multiple times. To do this, we first need to import Python built-in random module. Like I'm making the new function dice new file im, import random, and while true and our choice is equals to input roll the dice. Yes or no. Low. And and if choice is equals to yes, then our dice value is equals to random dot random one two six and and string you roll a dice value. Otherwise, else if choice is equals to no, print thanks for playing and break the statement if the uh, user entered neither yes or neither no, then in that situation we will print a statement at invalid input. Simply invalid input. Yeah, let's run it. Firstly, I'm writing yes. Yeah, it gave me six. Then again, I want to. Then yes, and I don't want to roll the dice. Then yeah, thanks for playing. So see how we use while return. This creates a loop that keeps running until the user types no, which hits the break statement. This this break statement. This is a perfect real world application combining loops, conditionals, and random number generation. So before we wrap up, it's time for a quick revision and an exciting bonus challenge for you all. Firstly, we will revise. Let's quickly summarize what we learned today. We use while loops when the numbers of iterations isn't fixed, but the exit condition is known. We use for loops when we know exactly how many times we want to run the code with the range function, like we did in yeah, yeah, in this question. Yeah, like see, in this code, we know exactly how many times we want to run the code. Like see, we want to print five numbers, then we put up range from 1 to 6, and it will be printed before 6, not the 6 like you can see in the output statement. And we will learn about nested loops, when a loop inside a loop where the inner loop runs completely for every single turn of the outer loop, like we done in this problem. And finally, we learned how to generate random numbers to simulate real world events like a dice roll, like see the real world example where I want to roll a dice, then yes, and I don't want to roll a dice, then no. Yeah, simply. So now our final now here is a challenge for you to test your logic. So Write a Python program. This is a bonus question. Using a loop to enter a number and print its multiplication table, like table of 2, 5, 10, etc. So after solving, let's come back to the video, and now I'm solving this problem. Multiplication. Firstly, we will take input from the user. Enter number. Sorry. Mm, Multiplication table of, okay. Now we will be using our for loop because we know the range multiplication table. We want to print it from 1 to 10. So I will be putting our range function from 1 to 11. So it will print before 11. Print num like x I minus comma num into I. Suppose I want table of 9. Yes, multiplication table of 9 is printed. So if you solve this problem by your own, don't forget to like the video. And that is all about video 3. Today we mastered while loop, for loops, nesting, and successfully completed two major problems with one bonus problem. And in our next video, we are going to dive deep into functions and recursions, where we will learn how to break our code into reusable blocks. And if you find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel and drop any question you have in the comment below. See you in the next video. Happy coding.